For anyone who isn't familiar with this classic story, can you just start by telling us a little bit about Mowgli and the world that he inhabits?
Yeah, so he's exactly like me, very stubborn, adventurous, and very energetic. And he's also like, when he thinks of something, he'll get it. He'll want to get it no matter what. He'll try getting it like as much as he can. Like, he wants to live in the jungle, so he tries as much as he can to. And I just think it's really good because it's like a roller coaster. It doesn't start off with something happy, where there's something happy and then something bad happens. It's where there's already a problem and then there's a solution, and then it keeps going like back and forth.
Obviously what we see on screen is spectacular, but can you talk about your experiences making the film and what it was actually like on set?
Yeah, it was just a blue screen. There was no real jungle there, so I was just interacting with whatever they gave me, like puppets and stuff. That was a lot of fun because like it actually made it a lot easier. And like if I'm not just looking at a tennis ball or something, I'm looking at a puppet, and it looks so like it helped me interact, and it also looks so like real, but it's really not.
And did you have to also provide voices like the other actors did? Did you get to act with them at all?
Yeah, I got to record some of them, which was a lot of fun because I got to see them turn into character.
You know, you put it together in tiny steps, and everybody does their role, and the actors do their performance, and I work on it in the editing room, and it's almost like when you bake a big cake or something, when you mix all the ingredients and you don't, you read the recipe properly, but it doesn't look like anything in the oven, and you get nervous, and then finally you check on it, and all of a sudden the dough rises, and you have a beautiful golden crust, and it smells delicious, and then you put it out on the table, and everybody digs into it. That's the point we're at now, where it's coming out of the oven and everybody's kind of surprised it turned out like you hoped it would, and everybody's having a good time.
How does it taste?
Yeah, to me, I'm very happy, very satisfied.
John, can I ask, you used a technique called photorealism. Can you explain a little bit more about that process?
Photorealism speaks to the aesthetic of what the CGI, the computer-generated effects, is meant to look like. Sometimes in animated films, they have a stylized look. In our case, since Mowgli was in the movie as a live-action kid played by Neel Sethi, we had to make everything, the jungle and the animals that were computer-generated, match the look of the kids, so you never felt that there was a differentiation between the real elements and the fake elements.
Am I correct in saying that you had to use Jim Henson's puppets?
Yeah, we used Jim Henson Studios to construct puppets for Neel to act opposite, to help keep him involved and intrigued and not get bored.
Jon, congratulations on the film. Can you just tell us what you feel is the emotional core of this timeless story?
I think the relationship between Mowgli and Baloo is a bit of the emotional core. It's what I remember reacting to when I saw the animated film, and Bill Murray certainly plays a good Baloo.
Hopefully they've never experienced the story in this way, where we've been able to bring the jungle and these characters to life through this technology in a way that I've never seen, and hopefully they feel like they've never seen it.
And in terms of that technology, can you talk about the specific challenges and what you're most proud of looking at the finished product?
Well, the challenges in this case is that you had to know exactly what you're doing before you ever shot a frame of film. Before you knew where the kid was going to be, you had to have already created a jungle environment. You had to know exactly the size and scale of your character, where they were going to be at any point in time. So you had to make the movie in many different fashions before you ever shot the movie. And I've never had to work that way, and it was an education for all of us.
Of course, these are such beloved and familiar characters, but can you walk us through the voice cast, particularly bringing them to life?
Yeah, so Bill Murray was a quintessential get for Baloo. He lives his life already. I think he comes off the shelf ready-made to play this character. Sir Ben Kinglsey was the first choice to play Bagheera. He has a stern regality, and but also there is a warmth underneath it that we really loved. Shere Khan, getting Idris Elba was sort of a dream for us, and I think that he's done wonders with that role. Lupita as the nurturing mother character, Raksha, is phenomenal. We had Giancarlo Esposito playing the alpha male wolf, Aquila. Scarlett Johansson brought her most hypnotic quality to Kaa in a whole new way. So we were just thrilled with everyone. You had to pick your moments, and I think Jon understood that there were certain things that you wanted to see, certain things that were in our collective memory, and I think he found a way to pay homage to those moments and that imagery. And then in other ways, he could just become, both in being inspired by Kipling and also finding new ideas, could go on his own path.
Jon, of course, is standing beside you now. He's a fantastic director. What makes him such a great director, though, as someone who's worked with him?
The amazing thing about Jon, obviously, he has a background in acting. He's a writer. He's become a phenomenal director. But he has amazing skill set where he can do multiple things. He can really figure out how to crack open a character, how to give you charm and warmth and humor. He figures out how to give you wonderful action sequences. He knows how to give you emotion. It's hard to find all those things just in one guy, and Jon does it.
Talking about one guy, at the heart of this story is young Mowgli. How difficult was it to cast that part, and what do you think the character of Mowgli represents for an audience?
Well, first of all, it was a huge task to find this kid who had, again, this embodiment, this young guy. We knew we had to cast someone between 10 and 11, and when we found Neel, immediately we found the soulfulness and all those traits that we just needed to embody that guy. And so we were very fortunate to find him. But he had a huge task, and I think for us, Mowgli represents this, I think this indomitable spirit. This kid, he overcomes so much in this story, and he actually teaches, even as young as he is, he teaches so much to these much more mature characters all around him. And so, and that has a lot to say about finding your own way, choosing your own identity, figuring out what you're going to be for yourself. And we thought that was a message worth sharing in this film.
There's been speculation that we might see the story continue on the big screen. Can you comment on that at all?
Well, I think the nature of this story, and even with Kipling, was that there were many stories to tell in the jungle. And so we always felt like if we succeeded, it would be fun to tell more stories, but we never want to get ahead of ourselves. This film has to connect with its audience, and if it does, it's a really worthwhile conversation, I think, to figure out what other stories are worth telling. I hope they feel like they've been transported to a place that they've always dreamed about being, just in terms of the escapism of it. I also hope that they feel like they've found a new way to look at the world and ways that even translate to our everyday world.
What I found in my character was that he's military, and I gave him a rank of Colonel Bagheera, and as soon as I gave him the rank of Colonel, it all made sense. He's got a young recruit. He's going to teach that recruit to fend for himself in the battlefield and make sure he gets that recruit home safely.
Congratulations on an astonishing piece of cinema. I guess the obvious question for you, what is the timeless magic of this story, and what can fans expect from this version?
The timeless magic links us to Charles Dickens and Oliver Twist, links us to Bambi, Pinocchio, and Dumbo, links us to Jungle Book. All of these films and books involve orphans. The beautiful story is that an orphan survives against all the odds. That's what's so uplifting and glorious about this story.
Are you looking forward to the film?
I am. I can't wait. Believe it or not, I've actually never seen the Jungle Book, the original. So I'm in for a treat out here, and the music sounds great, and the cast are brilliant. So hopefully it's going to be amazing. Yeah.
You haven't seen Jungle Book, but are you a Disney fan? Do you have a favourite Disney film?
Massive Disney fan. Probably my favourite might be Ariel, The Little Mermaid, or Aladdin maybe. But no, I know I must be the only person in the world that hasn't seen the original Jungle Book.
Why is Ariel your favourite? Why is The Little Mermaid one that really sticks in your mind?
I think it's just, I think it embraces the magic of Disney, is the fantasy, and, what little girl wouldn't want to be a mermaid, so.
Eve's been a huge hit. What's been the best part of being involved in the show for you?
I think for me it was the fact that the part is a robot. I mean, things like that just rarely come up. So to get to try all different kind of acting techniques and embrace this kooky character, it was just a treat, an absolute treat for me. And to be able to work with such a wonderful cast and make all these kids happy, it's for the kids, just like all this kind of stuff is. So I'm really, really privileged to have had that part. I had such a good time in it. Yeah, it's great.
And of course, there's a lot of robots in film and TV. Did you take any specific inspirations for you?
Well, I watched some humans, and that was brilliant. Of course, it's kind of not the same because we're targeting the kids and the children's audience, and they were fantastic. I loved that. And then obviously there was Ex Machina, that film. Yeah. I mean, it's different, really. I was kind of embracing the comedy side of it, the kooky, kind of quirky side of it, rather than, the serious sci-fi, which we have elements of that in the show as well. But, I wanted to kind of make her a bit original and a bit weird.
There's a lot of fun moments. Are there any that were particularly awkward or embarrassing to do on set?
Oh, Awkward or embarrassing? Probably. Oh, do you know what? Actually, series 2, I had to wear this robot suit, like a box, and this outfit with all tubes, and I stayed in it all day because I'm such a professional. But it was, method, yeah. But it was tough. It was hard work being in that all day. But that was probably as far as it got. I loved it so much. Just to be free with it, it was a wonderful part. So. I'm working on a film called My Cousin Rachel at the moment, starring Rachel Weisz and Sam Claflin, directed by Roger Michell. It's set in 1840, so it's a period drama, which I love. So corsets and massive sleeves and ringlets and all that kind of thing. And so that's going to be wonderful. And then after that is series 3, potentially, of Eve. So I'm keeping busy and meetings and voice work and all that other stuff that I do as well. So and keep it busy. So a night like tonight is a treat for me.
I mean, obviously that's a very different project for you that you're working on. Can you tell us a little bit about your character, kind of where you generally fit into that one?
So I play a part called Mary Pascoe. I play Vicar's daughter, and I can't tell you too much because I don't want to give too much away of the story, but it's light-hearted. The adaptation is wonderful. It's obviously based on the Daphne du Maurier book, and I'm incredibly privileged to be involved in it. Wonderful director, wonderful writing. Look out for that. That's the next one, I guess, that you'll see.
It's a fantastic cast as well. Can you talk about what it's been like working with some great talents like Rachel?
I know. And the thing is, I grew up watching The Mummy. That was my... Yes, exactly. And I haven't really mentioned it to her yet, but I'm, of course, obviously starstruck. She's so gorgeous, so wonderful. So, I know. It's a wonderful project to be involved in with kind of, big film stars like that. It's kind of the first thing like that I've been involved with, a proper kind of cinema film. So it's a new step for me, which is wonderful. So I'm embracing it and loving it.
You mentioned there might be a third series of Eve. Do you know when we're going to find out about that one way or the other yet?
I'm not allowed to say anything. I don't know yet. I guess it's all kind of up in the air at the moment, but it's wonderful that it's been so well received and, so many kids love it. So if we get a third series, it'd be wonderful to continue the journey of the character and to bring all the wonderful cast and stories back. So hopefully that could be this year and,
I mean, if you do get the chance to continue the journey, are there any specific things you'd personally like to see, both for the character and the show as a whole?
I'd like to see something in the very far future, because obviously Eve's a robot, so she won't age, whereas all her, friends and loved ones around her will. So I think that's an interesting aspect of the story that I'd potentially like to see. Maybe a bit sad and dark for the young kids, but channeling a bit of the AI, artificial intelligence, that film. So, to Eve fans, love you all so much. Thank you for watching. I hope there's a lot more to come for you. Keep watching. I know it's on iPlayer and they replay it whenever they can. So from all of us at Eve, all of us, the cast, thank you for watching. Love you all. Mwah. Enjoy it.
Are you a big Disney fan, and specifically, are you a big Jungle Book fan?
I'm a massive Disney fan. I love all animated movies for the most part. And when it comes to Jungle Book, I'm a huge fan. I can't wait to see this movie.
What's the magic specifically of Jungle Book? Why is it such a timeless story?
Oh, I guess because every kid dreams about living amongst wild animals in the jungle and becoming one of them or becoming their friends. Unless that was just me.
34-year-old mothers also, apparently, dream about living in the jungle with animals.
That too as well. And when you're not watching great films like this, what are you working on yourself at the moment? I think physical fitness is something you're focusing on a lot at the moment.
Yeah, I love to stay fit. I've been dancing since I was 7, so that's a huge love of mine, as well as yoga. We've been doing a lot of calisthenics together, which has been a lot of fun. I love fitness. It's how I kind of deal with my stress and anxiety and kind of release all of that from my head and start all over again. That and wellness is my biggest passions at the moment, and I'm launching a campaign called WellFit to primary age kids around the UK to kind of help with wellness and fitness, because there's a real decline and a real surge in stress, anxiety, and depression in primary age kids. So I have a big passion in trying to go in and help fix that.
If people want more information about that campaign, where can they go?
You can go to imwellfit.com. Yeah.
Apart from that, is there anything else you're working on at the moment?
Yeah, I'm doing some live cooking a cooking show for Lorraine called Kimberly's Kitchen in the Garden. So I get to share a few recipes and things. That's really exciting. Launching my Well Fit campaign and a new show called Taking the Next Step coming out on CBBC in June.
It's fantastic to have you here tonight. Are you a big Disney fan and specifically a big Jungle Book fan?
I was a massive Jungle Book fan when I was a kid, but I can't really remember it that much. So I saw the trailer for this. I'm just so excited to see what it's like on screen.
Did you have a favourite Disney film when you were a kid, one that really stuck with you?
Probably either Mulan or Pocahontas. I don't know why, just those. Lion King as well, but I feel that's a bit cliche. But yeah, those are my favourite. I've just been making loads of videos recently. Been working on a snack box which I've launched called Sauce Box, like a healthy snack box, which is going really, really well. And yeah, just focusing on like the videos and the channel and stuff.
Why is healthy eating something that matters to you?
It's become like a big part of my life, I guess, in the last 2 years, and it's something that I try and promote to my audience. So I thought I could make this product and people could enjoy it and try and grow that healthy trend, I guess.
Of course, music's another part of your life that you've been enjoying more with the videos. Is that something we can expect more of coming up?
Yeah, I definitely want to do more music stuff in the future, like mess about with some parodies and stuff. So yeah, it's definitely on the radar.
And obviously for YouTube, it's been a bit of an interesting time lately, particularly with the Fine Brothers situation. There was a lot of debate about that. Did you have any particular feelings about that as someone who works and makes a living off YouTube?
Yeah, it's kind of a bit of a complicated situation. I don't know the ins and outs of it too much. I just know that maybe some of the decisions they made weren't the right ones and how they sort of put it out there. But I think they've kind of dropped everything that they said they were going to do anyway. So yeah, hopefully it's all sorted now. For me, it's like YouTube's always the core, but I'm working on writing a sitcom, so hopefully that's going to come out in the next year or so. That's something I'm really excited for the future. And just working on building things around my YouTube channel, I guess.
And obviously fans will be really excited that you're writing that. Can you tell us anything about that or what's inspiring that process? I
can't say anything right. It's very, very early days. Like, we're only just writing the pilot right now, so right at the very early stages.
I have to ask you about the anti-bullying campaign because it is something that I know matters to you so very much and to a lot of your fans.
Yeah, again, it's a campaign that I've constantly supported. They've got great guys that I work with a lot. This summer, I think we're doing some stuff maybe with my old school as well. So yeah, it's a charity that I'm constantly working with. I think it's just like, you know, a lot of the audience that watch on YouTube is younger. So if they can see that we've gone through similar experiences that they'll be going through, they can relate to that. So it's all about just sharing, you know, what we've been through and saying that this is what I went through, this is how I dealt with it, and if you're going through something similar, you can do the same.
My final question, do you have a message for fans before you leave us to enjoy the film tonight?
Thank you so much for watching and supporting me. Like, it's been a long time now, and just thanks for watching my videos.